Okay, there you go. That's the... Hello, everyone! Yep, perfect. Good timing. Game Prodigy, welcome, guys. Glad to have you here.
So excited to have you here for casting of King of the Sea NA. We're gonna have a lot of fun today.
So, actually, you know what? Let's change. Yeah, we can be nice. We can change our tail. So our first match is going to be QQ7 versus STAR2.
It's gonna be a really good game. These are two of the strongest teams, I think.
Yeah.
This is two of the strongest teams in the tournament. And they're fighting it out for who's gonna get a chance to go 2-0 and go straight to round 2 of the group stage.
All right. Looks like they're already in and ready. I'm doubting we're gonna get a... Wow. Okay, yeah, they're getting ready to get... So the first map that they're going to be on, I mean, we may be able to get an early start on this.
I think they cannot start before 3, though.
Before 3? Okay,
yeah.
So let's take a look. Let's take a look. They're going to be on Northern Waters. Let's take a look at this map, and let's kind of see what we do strategy-wise. Northern Waters is... It's tough on cruisers, but if you can get a good position on it, you can really do a lot of damage. You see this map on Epicenter more than anything else.
So true. I think we're going to see battleships end up sneaking on those 2 islands to the edges of the near B cap back from them so that they can have the angles. I don't think the battleships are going to go out wide, because when you go to A, if the battleship goes out there and it gets locked in over there, you run the risk of you can't fire at the rest of the map. So I don't think we're going to see battleships hard pushing the outside flanks here.
Well, and where would you... So if I'm running this CB and you're going to have 2 battleships, where are you putting them?
If I have 2 battleships, I'm probably putting one on... I'm honestly probably sticking one on that island if I'm looking at the Bravo spawn to the left of it. I'm sticking one down there so that he has the option if they push through A to charge, but he can fire over to C. And I'm probably putting one out in space over at C. I think A is going to have to be hard contested, just a cruiser and a DDs, because if you send the battleship over there, you have so little room to maneuver that a DD that's over there just is going to eat you alive with torps, is my feeling.
Well, what you normally see on the A cap is them putting a Stalingrad or some type of radar cruiser being able to radar what's in A. So, and then there's that island on the far left where you're going to see a second cruiser to be able to support A. I think the ship that's going to be on the island really close to A is going to be able to have shots on the battleship, and he's got it's almost beautifully angled.
Yeah, I think that island outside of A, I think, is going to see a lot of shots. I think you're definitely going to see islands parked on the outside of the right side of B. You're going to see heavy cruisers probably parked right there so that they can shoot across and into C on those 2 islands, because that's usually, if you've played CBs on this map, clan battles on this map, you almost always have a cruiser parking there, like a Stalingrad or a Des Moines, something that's got that heavy AP that can absolutely make you regret it. Probably Petros, honestly, this time.
I mean, DD-wise, what are you bringing in? Smolan makes sense for C. It makes sense for B. But that A-cap, I mean, you got to bring something with firepower. You've got to, like... You could potentially bring in a Shima to torp it, but if you get caught into a gunfight there, A, you're guaranteed you're gonna be radared. B, you're guaranteed that there's gonna be a cruiser up at that island that's gonna be able to shoot at you. And then C, that DD, if that allows that DD to smoke up, and I think you have to put something with some firepower.
I think, honestly, you might see some Harugamos on this map, because I can see the Harugamo with the smoke, plus the just rainbow ability of its HE shells to constantly spam over there. So I think we're going to see some of those. But, I mean, Shima's definitely a strong pick over there. Shima's definitely a strong pick. I'm interested to see actually more what battleships we're going to see brought out. We're seeing the standard Kremlins and Yamatos, though I've seen some of those Burgones peeking out as well.
Well, even maybe in Ohio, you can get... So the thing about A And the thing about A, like if you get A and you bring a battleship over there, you've got a huge gap between A and B to cross, but you're able to get close. So maybe those secondaries are a possibility.
Yeah. I could also see something that has that range, like Thunder or Conqueror with range mods, so that you could stick them on the A side, but they have the ability to fire across the entire map. Because you don't have that worry where the ships are usually moving a lot. A lot of times you're going to have people digging in. So if you can get that lofting shells over those islands from range.
Yeah, it's not a bad possibility. Would you bring a Thunderer here?
If I was going to bring a Thunder or a Conqueror, I'd probably go for the Conqueror just because of the fact it's got that better heal and the ability to ignore the Citadel damage. Like the Thunder, don't get me wrong.
Have you seen a Conqueror? I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen a Conqueror.
I think I've seen one Conqueror. But remember, this is QQ7. QQ7, 007, and 07 all bring out weird things sometimes that you're not expecting.
They do, and they not only do they bring in weird things. Hold on one second. Can you take over for a second, minute?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
But not only do they bring in weird things, but they make them work. When I've casted a couple of the games here of some of the big stuff, and I've watched some of their games, and they tend to see, you're going to see a lot of Russian ships, I feel, from, you're going to see a lot of Russian ships, I think, from the QQ7 side. STAR2, I'm not sure what STAR2 is going to bring. I do think STAR2 has to be considered the underdog in this game, just because of QQ7's pedigree as a subclan of 07, who has, if you're not paying attention or haven't watched, won the last 2 King of the Sea tournaments outright, including a thrilling 3-2 win over TNG last time in the NA finals, and then 3-2 over the Asia team in the international finals. But yeah, I don't know.
Definitely, I think that the strong thing, and this is the number 2 clan for Star, so yeah. I think they got their work cut out for them. If you're playing as the underdog, you got to bring in a surprise. If you bring in meta, I think you're in trouble.
I think we might see a mass hard push from Star 2, try to surprise with the aggression. I think you might see the try to surprise with just the hard aggression onto them.
And where are you pulling that off from?
I don't know what I'm pulling that off from, but if I'm an underdog coming in, QQ7 is going to be, I'm hoping that QQ7 comes in complacent, expecting the win, saying that we're the better team. And I'm hoping that I can shock them with just straight shock and awe and unexpected comps. Maybe you see a couple more Venezias than usual. You get that extra torps plus the ability to smoke up. Maybe you're seeing some of the stuff like Wooster to burn down ships more. I don't know. I do not know. We will see. We will see. As a quick reminder,
let's take a moment and let's look at what the 3 maps are going to be and see where this is going to head up. Because if I'm going against QQ7, I'm definitely thinking that they're going to have cruisers positioned on rocks. It's going to be tough, and that second map I think is the wild card. Tears of the Desert, Tears of the Cruisers. Where are you putting your cruisers?
Ain't that the truth? Now, question for you, GP, because I did not have a chance to look. Who chose Northern Waters?
Northern Waters, I believe, was the QQ7 pick.
Okay,
and
so
Tears of the Desert, I think, is the STAR2 pick. I think they're playing to their strengths.
I think they are. I think Tears of the Desert, you might actually see. Honestly, it's rare, but I could see a triple DD comp coming out from one of the teams on Tears of the Desert, because, as you said, where do you put your cruisers?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have Venezias there, and you know, QQ7, they're gonna outshoot you. They're gonna outshoot you. So where you're gonna have to get them is gonna be, you're gonna have to get those surprise torpedoes, or you're gonna have to get them out of position. And I think STAR2, if I'm them, I'm trying to get a lot of movement, and I'm trying to make sure that, you know, wherever QQ7 sticks their ships, because you know they're going to stick their ship somewhere, and they're going to get good angles on you. Yep. So, I mean, I may even bring in a third DD, because torpedoes, I think, are going to make the difference.
I think we're going to have to just wait, and we're going to have to see. I think this first map is going to tell us a lot about how these two teams are going to go today. And before we do anything else, quick reminder for everyone. We'll have giveaways running all throughout it, both on my stream and Game Prodigy, so make sure you're checking out both of us. They are for 5 resource containers. So, doesn't sound like much maybe, but remember, 5 resource containers, 2,000 to 6,000 base coal you're getting. And for those of you that are saying, hey, I need a little more coal to pick up my Georgia or maybe your Pommern, it's a real good way to get some of that. It's a real good way to get some of that.
All right, so we make sure we were able to start this on time. Let's go take a look at the map intro. How does that sound?
Indeed, here we go.
All right, good luck.
In the southern Arctic Ocean lies an archipelago of Caledonian granite, frigid and foreboding, These frozen rocks and sparse fauna will shortly become unwilling witnesses to the rigours of naval combat. This is Northern Waters. Northern Waters is a 42 by 42 kilometre domination style map with 3 cap points running in a line from west to east. The Alpha cap is on the left, Bravo is in the centre, and Charlie is on the right. Capture Area Alpha is isolated from the map centre by 2 large islands along the eastern edge. These islands provide limited cover for radar cruisers who may want to deploy nearby, while a narrow channel connects the cap to the middle of the map. In the centre, Cap Bravo contains hard cover in the centre for intrepid destroyer captains hoping to secure control. Just like the Alpha Cap though, there are islands along the eastern edge that provide at least some cover for radar cruisers to defend from. The scattered islands in and around Cap Charlie create challenges on both offence and defence. Not only do they constrict the movement of battleships in the area, they provide places for lighter units to take shelter behind and launch ambushes from. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Northern Waters.
Well, there we have it. Northern Waters. It's both teams appear to be ready. We're gonna start right at 3.
I believe so.
I'm pretty excited for this. I think this is going to be a great match. Predictions. Minnie, what are you thinking?
You know, I think Star's going to show us something on Tears of the Desert we're not expecting. I think we're going to see QQ7 take the first map, Northern Waters. But I think Star's going to surprise us with Tears of the Desert, and we're going to 3 games here. But if I have to go, I'm going to say the experience is going to win out, in my opinion. I think it's going to be 2-1 to QQ7.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you there. I think QQ7 wins Northern Waters for sure. Tears of the Desert, it's a wild card. If Stars 2 can do it, I think they're going to throw QQ7 off their game, and I think we're going to have a really good third match. But if they win Northern Waters in reasonable fashion, then Stars 2, they had all week. They had all week prepared for this. Hopefully they thought that this was going to be the map. I mean, who's going to ban out Tears of the Desert? I mean, there's some other maps that I think you ban out first, so hopefully they have something in store for us.
I mean, Shatter was already banned, so... I mean, Shatter was the, if I recall correctly, Shatter was the ban by QQ7. But
Okay,
I'm
not
trying
confused. They got 1 extra person in here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, they got 1 extra person. I'm not quite sure what that's about.
Maybe he's just watching. He could be... They're allowed to spectate their games.
Are they?
I believe they are, is my understanding. But maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
I would think you, because then you can see where the enemy team's
Good
at.
point.
That
I don't know.
silly.
Yeah, QQ7 banned Shatter, Star banned Loop. So, I am interested to see where that's going to end up, because I'm not surprised by the Shatter ban. The Shatter is such a painful map to play.
It's a toss-up map. It is definitely a toss-up map.
I think Shatter is the most RNG-based map in the game on what you're going to have to do here. I'm not surprised by the Loop ban either. I might have thought Land of Fire, but Loop doesn't surprise me either. But yeah, as you said, who's going to ban Tears of the Desert? Tears of the Desert, you see it in actually, as I'm looking through, I'm seeing a fair amount of Tears of the Desert's ban. So that might serve.
That's a cruise. If you rely on your cruiser play, then yeah, because what are you going to do? You're going to have to bring out Venezia's.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe Star 2 is really, really good at Venezia's. We'll have to find out. In the meantime, I mean, DD picks, we talked about that. We talked about cruiser picks. Nothing's banned. So, I mean, I think QQ7, they're an experienced clan. You're going to see some Stalingrads. I think you're going to see some Petros for sure. Are you going to bring out a wild pick when it comes to cruiser? I mean, it's QQ7. If you're QQ7, what wild pick are you bringing out?
What wild pick? If I have to bring out a tier 10 cruiser, I don't know. I mean, Petro's not wild anymore. Stalingrad's not wild. I mean, I could see a Nevsky coming out, but I've seen, I think, even a couple of those. But for cruisers, what wild pick? I don't know. Honestly, the thing I think you might see, it hasn't been as popular lately, but you might still see that Hindi. I was seeing some Hindis in the EU play earlier today. Maybe we see a Hindenburg.
Well, I mean, maybe a Hindenburg, and I know I limited cruisers, but what if we see a Shiki?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you see a Shiki in Tears of the Desert. because it can punish cruisers.
Now, if you take the Shiki, yeah, I could see the Shiki in Tears of the Desert. I don't think we see any Slavas today. I don't think we see any Slavas, just to go on a...
No, I think Slava's banned. Like, it's not allowed in here.
Okay, Slava is banned? I was not
Slava,
sure.
Yeah, because it's too new.
Okay.
But, I mean, Shika is kind of new, too, but there was a Shika.
Slava is listed on the banned list, ships that can be banned list in the stream helper, so I don't know. That'll have to be something we get clarification on, definitely.
Sure. All right, so refs check. They're ready. We're ready. We got a minute to go. Anyone in the chat, let's get your predictions. If you're here for QQ7, let me know in the chat. If you're here for STAR2, let me know as well.
Same.
I think it's going to be a good battle. I think the action is going to happen in C.
I think you're definitely right.
A should be stagnant. If you think about it on Epicenter, C is where all the actors, for whatever reason, they gravitate over there. And it's going to be whoever has the good shots.
Indeed, and quick reminder before we start, make sure you're watching both of us to get those giveaways. We're each doing giveaways, and you are eligible for both. Doesn't matter if you win one on mine or you win one on GPs, you can still win on the other ones. So
for sure, that's the link is there in the multi-stream. It is 3 o'clock. We are ready. Let's
here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we're loading.
Okay, first thoughts as you see it. Oh, I was not expecting that one, GP. I know we talked about for Tears of the Desert.
Salem!
The Salem, yes, but I was not expecting the Shiki here. You know, Shiki on Tears of the Desert, yeah, but Shiki here, that's intriguing to me.
Well, what do we got in QQ7? What's their lineup looking like?
Okay, so for QQ7, you're getting your standard. You got Shikishima, Kremlin for your battleships. Not necessarily the most normal battleships you'll see, but still standard. The Salem's an interesting call. It does make sense now. Nevsky and Petropavlovsk plus the Stalingrads, you're getting a little bit of that Iron Curtain feel. And then the standard Smolensk, we're expecting to see banned starting tomorrow, and the Summers. What are we getting over there?
On STAR2, I mean, I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed. They brought in a little bit of everything and nothing the same. They've got a Sommers and a Smolensk for their DDs, and then they have every kind of cruiser imaginable. There's a Venezia, there's a Des Moines, there's a Stalingrad, there's a Nevsky, and then for battleships, they got a Kremlin, Ohio. So they have one of every ship. This boils down to where they place them, because every ship has its own kind of strength and its weakness, and I mean, it's still, you still got the Iron Curtain, but you have a Venezia. I mean, Venezia makes sense for A. That's where he's going. I don't know. That's really surprising. What are they doing position wise over there?
Early start, we got Gibbon in the Summers going straight towards B. And their Smolensk is running on a line to A. You got the Salem, Petro, and Kremlin supporting Wonder Cube and his Smolensk towards A. And you've got the Stalingrad of Classic. He is hard charging the left. I think he's going to end up on like that island in D10 or something, sitting out there pelting from the edge. You got the Shika angling in towards that gap in the islands between D6 and 8. And then the Nevsky is following close on the Shika. Stalingrad's actually turning in like he's going to support B. This is interesting. I think he's lining up on the outside of that island at DE6 to fire towards A and such, because he has that angle over towards A.
Remember when we said that STAR2 had to do something drastic?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Their drastic's going in a direction I didn't see going. They're hard pushing A. They've abandoned C.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing headed towards C unless the Kremlin's making a late move there, but maybe the Des Moines? I can't believe there's nothing over there, and it looks like QQ7, they already have a stranglehold on what's happening in C. Both DDs are backing into B.
Yeah, you got the standard, so that's going to be set for a while. Now, if the Summers tries to go around the island, I give the advantage to the Smolensk, because the Smolensk's DPS is just insane. What we do have to see is, whose torps are coming in, red torps I'm seeing coming in from the right?
Those are the Sommers. He threw some torps in, and let's see if the Sommer sees them.
Honestly, those look like they're going to go towards the Stalingrad. Even with the Stalingrad just radaring, Stalingrad just radared. I don't know.
Sommer sees them.
Yeah, Sommer sees them, but does the Stalingrad have enough room to maneuver? I'm looking at does Feva have enough room here? Because he's locked on that island. He's got to turn in, but can he turn in at the right spot?
I just noticed something. Look at the camo on QQ7. They are all yellow.
Oh my gosh, are they
That is
actually?
a statement. That is a huge statement.
Oh, and he does take one of the torps. He can't dodge all of them. It doesn't do too much damage, but that's still early going. Having your Stalingrad down to 2/3 health is not a position you want to be in.
So Stars managed to cap B, and there's another torp coming on this Stalingrad. This Stalingrad is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he's down to half health already.
And guess what? He is flooding. Sommers smokes for him, but this is looking really good for STAR2.
This is definitely a strong sparring position. However, you got the problem of it's already 2 caps to QQ7, or no, it is 2 caps to STAR2, correct me.
Yeah,
So that is a
STAR2,
strong start.
And it doesn't seem like they figured out that there's nothing in C. You got 3 guys. The Shika, which, man, you got his big guns. There's nothing for him to shoot at.
There is.
In C.
There is. The Stalingrad on the edge, classic. He's expecting something there, but there's nothing. So he's got to turn in and get back in the fight, but he's just out of position for a while. And there's Stalingrad, 50,000 health gone already. I mean, he's in the smoke, and yeah, he's got heals, but still, 50,000 health off him.
This is unbelievable.
Uh-oh, watch these torps from the Summers. They look like they might be hitting that Kremlin. Watch these torps. There's a second set coming in from the Summers that looks like it might hit the Kremlin.
Remember what we said about torpedoes being the first one's going to hit.
Yeah, and it looks like you might be getting one more, maybe depending on how his turn works. Depending on the Kremlin's turn, that back one might hit, but it looks like he's going to do a torp beat on those. Oh, and the Smolensk sent his torps too, so if the Kremlin starts going forward here... Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
Kremlin's not going forward. There's no way.
Kremlin
no
started
way.
going forward. He's not going to stop in time. He's taking a torp from the Smolensk as well, if it has the range.
Short,
Oh!
short.
How? Oh, the Kremlin. That's definitely a butt clencher right there.
Yeah, so it looks like they finally figured out that C is uncontested, which means the Stalingrad moves forward, the Nevsky moves forward, and this is where I think QQ7 starts to take control of the match. They're able to flank. That means they're using the Kremlin to hold this line, but you're going to have the Stalingrad and the Nevsky coming, and guess what? That Shikishima is completely unchallenged right now.
He really is completely unchallenged. Now, the challenge and what I'm seeing that worries me here is, yeah, that Stalin comes around, but if that Stalin comes around, Salem or Des Moines plus Stalingrad plus Kremlin equals dead Stalingrad in my books.
Yeah, but see, you're going to have the Shikishima. What?
Nevsky, watch that Nevsky. That Nevsky took a lot of damage there.
Oh, so this is
and he's got
the
torps.
great thing about this. The torpedoes are making the difference in this game.
Mm-hmm. This is coming down to DD play right now. This is 100% coming down to DD play right now.
But still, Stars have A and B, and guess what?
Oh, check the Kremlin. Check the Kremlin. Kremlin's about to take torps.
Nevsky just went down the Petro. Okay,
yeah, but I think this is a dead Kremlin. I think this is a dead Kremlin. He's taken at least 3 torps here. And he's taken more. I think he's gone 5 torps. Oh my gosh.
2,000 and a flood. So Kremlin for a Nevsky, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I'll take that trade any day. You know, it stinks to lose a Nevsky, but 1,300 health left on the Kremlin, and you know they're going to be firing. Yep, here comes the fire from everyone. And there's the fire on him. He can't DCP. That's going to be a burnout, even with the heal. Because he can't DCP
Kremlin?
that one. Yeah, because he DCP'd the floods, and he's now on burn from the Des Moines. Yep, there we go.
So it looks like QQ7 is down on health, but guess what? The Nevsky and Stalingrad have finally made their way around, and it looks like it's going to force everyone to push forward in B. The Kremlin, the Stalingrad, and Des Moines, they're in trouble here. They're stuck between a Shikishima and a Stalingrad Nevsky.
And they're going to get, if they push forward, they're going to get shoved hard into that Shiki. Now, that Shiki has been detected finally, so the Stalingrad is putting HE on him to try to force those DCPs out. Oh, STAR2 Summer's been detected.
Well, and it looks like the Sommers is doing the right thing. He's torping across this. He's got a ton of things to hit. Unfortunately, it looks like the Smolan is going to detect these torps, and they're going to be harmless.
And STAR2 Summers made it out. He's at 5,800, though. He took a lot of damage there.
Yeah, well, and they still have A and B. What happens if STAR2 wins this map? I think we're going to see a complete shift.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're looking at the points. I'm saying 270 advantage to STAR2, and they've got 4 minutes and 15 seconds until game over right now. Now, this is going to be interesting to see as the Stalingrad starts to assert its, Classic starts to assert his positioning. Because he's got tons of ships broadside. He's got a Petro, an Ohio, and a Venezia all sitting broadside to him.
Yeah, well, and it looks like STAR2, the Des Moines, the Kremlin, and Stalingrad, they are clinging to this island. That Shikishima is scary.
Now, the danger for them, though, with that is look at this Summers. The Summers already set one set out. He might send another. Oh, did they just detect? Did they just detect the Summers? Summers is detected. Yeah, the Summers is detected right now. Oh,
Yep,
he just
yep,
went dark. He went dark.
Yep. So we're looking at these torps coming in at the Stalingrad. I think the Stalingrad's in a lot of trouble. He is smushed between a Summers, a Shikishima, and a Nevsky in Stalingrad. So
is he going to take 2 or 3? Okay, he takes 2, which saves his life.
And he's flooding, but he DCPs it.
That being said, look at that Shikishima. Between the Des Moines, the Stalingrad, they've already burned him down to 40,000. Oh,
Yeah, and
Venezia out of nowhere gone.
where's this that Nevsky? He went super wide. I'm not sure why he's this far out of it. He needs to start putting down damage on this Des Moines and Kremlin. Stalingrad needs to go quickly, or that Shikishima's in a lot of trouble.
Stalingrad's probably actually taking those torps to protect the Kremlin. If I'm the Stalingrad right now, I'm saying I got to take those torps to protect the Kremlin. Because I'm dead no matter what.
Look at the Salem on QQ7. He managed to get to this island. They're making a play at A. He's got great coverage against the Ohio, and the Summers is basically having to retreat.
Yeah, the Summers is. It's still going to come down. We need a little more focus fire, I think, is the big challenge right here.
I think Smolensk takes torps.
You think the Smolensk takes torps?
Yeah.
Which
He takes
Smolensk?
torps.
Oh, he did.
He took torps. So that's going to slow down that push.
Now,
But
he
it
does
looks like
have
he's
heals left, but...
finally taking control.
Yeah. That Summers is being deadly in the middle, keeping them spotted.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give credit. He's able to just sit there and throw torps. That Smolensk needs to come up and put some pressure on it. But guess what? QQ7, they were able. They just took down the Des Moines. The Shikishima lived long enough. I still question this Nevsky coming out super wide, but it seems like he was accurate.
Now, the question is, you do have the slight advantage, the fact that STAR2 still has 2 battleships right now to 1. Nope, not anymore.
Not anymore. That's Sommers. So you got to question. I mean, they got stuck. They gave up C, and you see this so often. They give up a point. Why are you giving up a point for free? I'm not giving up a point for free to QQ7. Are you?
See, I actually disagree with you slightly. I like the strat, but I think what they need to do is once they had B and A, where they got, and we can talk about this more, but getting everyone stuck on that F6-7 island was where they went poor. And I'm going to up the minimap a little so people can see better. There we go. We'll make it a little bit bigger for you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we got a knife fight between the Sommers and the Smolensk. Stalingrad's in on it.
That being said, Smolensk is winning that fight.
But the Sommer smokes up and the Stalingrad keeps him spotted. This guy's dead. He's just blind firing smoke at this point.
Yeah, he is.
He's got radar, but he's too far away.
And there's the Salem.
Oh man, the angles that QQ7 has are disgusting.
Yeah. Well, they have taken the lead. They're up by 130 points now, and 4 ships plus 150. It did take them time. It did take them time, but I think actually the biggest thing is the inability to dislodge that Stalingrad. Feva went down to 50,000, was down to 22,000 health early, but he's at 33,000 right now, and that was 10 minutes ago. He was down to, 22,000 health. So he survived for that long because they couldn't dislodge him. That's really been the killer for them, I think.
Well, not only were they not able to dislodge him, but he's able to impact this game. I mean, B, the entire time they weren't able to get B, but look what they did. I don't think that's in their play. The Sommers stayed there and torped. The Sommers stayed there torped and spotted, allowing the Stalingrad and the Nevsky that went around to flank them. I mean, look where the Stalingrad and Nevsky are. This is why I don't think you allow anyone to have a cap for free. They were able to come around, and the moment that happened, the Kremlin the Des Moines and what was it, a Stalingrad of theirs, they were
Yeah.
in trouble because they
Oh
had to get
yeah.
broadside to something.
Oh yeah. And I think this one at this point, 260 points, and with well, you do have the Summers backing into A and challenging. They're making the push. They know that STAR2 knows that this is the time. If they're going to do anything, they have to do it now, especially because that Salem's backed off. But
I mean, it's 3-7, 3-8. They're done. This game's over.
yeah, I think you're right. Short of Miracle Dev Strike, this game is over with the fact that they've just crested 900 points. And it's 2.5 minutes, yeah, because A is being held, but C's going to keep ticking. They can't stop C. They have to get kills, and their Petro's almost gone.
Well, and remember what we said about battleships in A? They have a battleship to A.
Mm-hmm. And
I mean, what did that guy do?
yeah. I would love to know how much damage Fabio did with that ship.
With his bio?
Yeah.
I mean, the Salem managed to get all the way to this island. Let's cue in on Fabio. Let's see what he can see. He can only see one. He can only see the Petro. He's being shot at by 3 people. Smolan gets spotted. This is just cleanup.
Yeah. It really is. It really is. And it's 16 seconds here. 16 seconds. Unless they get a miracle kill right now. But even then, I think it's done.
Even then, I think it's done. They've got all the caps except for A.
Oh, yeah. All the caps except for A.
They got crossfires there. Yeah, this is...
and there's game. There is game, ladies and gentlemen. And your winner of game 1 is QQ7.
I mean, there's a lot to be said about what we just saw here. So, we saw QQ7 come out with yellow camo.
Yeah,
Who's surprised by that?
I mean, that's just
hilarious. I'm not surprised by that. That's a QQ7 move.
Yeah.
But we also saw them waver.
Mm-hmm. We did. Now, can we stay in this training room because it's been a while since I've done best of 3s? Or
Yes. I believe so.
Okay, so before we dive into that, just as a quick heads up for everyone, if we look at the best of 3, we are moving. QQ7 has won that first. Or QQ7 won Northern Waters, so if they win one more, they go ahead straight up 2 tiers of the... If they win Tears of the Desert, they go 2-0 and they move to the winner's bracket.
Let's take a look at the intro of Tears of the Desert. How does that sound?
Let's look at Tears of the Desert indeed.
Off the North African coast, an arid expanse of the Mediterranean Sea plays host to opposing forces as they battle it out for control of the seas. Amongst these sun-blasted islands, where enemy fire isn't the only bad way to die, only one team will triumph. This is Tears of the Desert. Tears of the Desert is a 42 by 42 kilometer domination style map with 3 cap points running in a line from northwest to southeast. The A cap is in the top left, B is in the center, and C is in the bottom right. Capture Area A has enough island cover nearby for teams to sneak in a radar cruiser and cover the capture zone, though it's common to see ships attempting to flank the cap by sailing into the northwestern corner of the map. In the center, Cap B has superb island cover near the center that allows destroyers to contest the area from behind shelter. Landing shells on ships in this position is challenging until teams are able to push forces into the corners of the map. Cap C is similar to Cap A. There is cover nearby for cruisers who want to defend, but very little cover within the cap itself. The picket line of islands that separate B and C make pushing in force from one cap to the other very challenging.
After this, I'm going to do the map.
18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Tears of the Desert.
So let's take a quick look at the map. Now, we've got very little time, and we're going to dig into this match more after. But I have to say, I am actually really impressed by STAR2's start there. While we can agree to disagree on whether leaving C open was wide, I think that was what they need to try to do. That level of ingenuity and experimentation is what they need to do to try to pull off stuff against QQ7.
Oh, without a doubt. And I mean, we were interested in the ships they were going to bring. It seems like they brought every ship. Like, if this one doesn't work, we're going to bring in this one, which, I mean, if they would have had good positioning, they're DDs. They're DDs. Can we talk about their DDs? Their DDs almost won that game for them. Maybe you would.
Seriously. That I'm just still digesting everything.
Yeah, I mean, their torpedoes. Their torpedoes in the beginning were on point. And remember what we said. If they hit those torpedoes, if they imagine one more torpedo on that Stalingrad, that game's different.
Yeah, like 22,000. Like we said, he did 50,000 damage to that Stalingrad. If that Stalingrad's gone and they can take that and they don't have to sit 3 ships on that edge, that's an entirely different game. That is an entirely different game.
Well, and that so if that Stalingrad's gone, that anchor's gone, that Shikishima gets burnt down, they could have pushed that. They probably potentially could have went to sea. And I don't know. You got to give them credit. They held on to 2 caps in the beginning. B was hotly contested. They managed to get that. I mean, I see a lot of positives from STAR2. I think they take the second map.
I think with this being their pick, and now, one thing I was thinking about is the fact Tears of the Desert was banned by a lot. So, is QQ7 not banning Tears of the Desert because they're confident in it, or they're more worried about Shatter? I think that's a really big question we don't have the answer to.
Well, I mean, if confidence is something that you're worried about with QQ7, they have yellow camo.
That is still amazingly hilarious that they have yellow camo.
you gotta laugh about it. It's definitely, they're playing mind games. I think if you talk about the 07, 007, QQ7 organization, what do they do better than it? They play mind games.
They do. I mean, you think, okay, Virtual Senpai, if you've ever watched his stream, what does he do the entire thing? He's trying to play mind games with the enemy team. All of them. It's just mind game after mind game.
Do you think they're going to come out with yellow again, or do you think they're if I were them, I think I switch it up.
If I'm them, I would love to see, I doubt they'll do it, but I'd love to see the Soviet red, all red camo.
Yeah, or they all bring America. I mean, there's no telling what they do. Heck, they may not even bring camo. I think that would be a statement.
That would be just disrespectful. I don't think that we'll ever see that.
What do you call yellow?
I mean, yellow is still a camo. May not be a good camo.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, looks like we are getting ready to go into our next game, ladies and gentlemen.
STAR2, I mean, if they give up a point in here, I hope it's not A.
Yeah, A is going to never be redeemed. I could see them avoiding A and B, and here we go. Here we go. I believe the teams have been swapped sides, so STAR2 will be green and QQ7 will be red, but we will see here in just a moment.
Did they? I didn't even notice they stopped.
No. STAR2 is still Bravo.
No, they just kept, it's
STAR2 is still Bravo. STAR2 is still Bravo, so quick fix that. Let's see. Are we seeing any? Is this the same comp? No, it is not. This is interesting. Okay, so for QQ7, a couple changes on the comp. That one really shocks me. They gave up the small end for the daring. So they've gone to 2 smoke DDs, and they gave up the small end's DPS. Other than that, they do have a Venezian now, but they're still staying pretty similar to what they had. Shikishima, Kremlin, Des Moines.
Well, with STAR2, it's basically a lot of the same. The only thing that I see different is they have double Stalingrad now.
And I checked, by the way.
The Nevsky.
I checked, by the way. Still all yellow camo.
Still all yellow camo. You gotta. I mean, you gotta
respect it. You gotta respect it.
I wish I had that level of confidence in the game. And you know what? After that last game, I would be a little shook if I was QQ7. They were in trouble in the beginning parts of that game.
They won that game off of superior talent, not better game planning.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. So it looks like I hate to say it, it looks like they're giving up A.
Interesting. On the QQ7 side, you have the Summers going hard towards A, and you've got the Daring going hard towards C. You got a pretty standard looking split here. Stalingrad, Shiki, Venezia going down towards C. Venezia is going hard on the flank. I think he's going to end up down by the I-9 island, honestly, is where he's trying to go. On the other side, you've got the Petro, Salem, and Kremlin sailing towards A. You've got the Des Moines trying to take up a position to guard B. I think he's going to lock in on that D6 island and try to just keep radar and keep anything that goes in there from capping successfully.
Well, and I mean, again, it's looking like this. We're in deja vu all over again. Smolan gets into B first. He's got a Des Moines to contest him, but there's a big rock in front of him, and it looks like they're going to be able to secure A. They're going to be able to get first points, so they're going to be able to put some pressure on QQ7. But it doesn't seem like that really phases them.
Now, to be fair, it does look like STAR2 is not fully abandoning. They're putting a DM up there in a position which it looks like he's going to lock in on that DE4 rock to fire over, but we'll see what happens. Oh, and here we go. Shots are out. Des Moines raided her.
Fires. Oh, man. He fired full broadside, and he was in trouble there, but he managed to turn out. There's not much. QQ7 doesn't have much. They don't see a lot happening. They're seeing this Des Moines go to A, which may give them reason for pause. But where is this Des Moines gonna go now?
They've got the Venezia also extending up there to support. It looks like it was a delayed push. Maybe they're trying to fake them into thinking it's same strat, but we'll see.
Well, and if you think about it, the Venezia makes sense in A. I'm a little curious as to why QQ7 brought their Venezia to C.
That's
and
interesting.
Again, they're letting these DDs cap.
The other interesting thing is that both Des Moines have gotten hammered early.
Yeah, they're up far, but QQ7 manages to take the cap away.
They do
from with a Des Moines. So guess what? They have a DD and A. He's going to be able to contest that. They have B with a cruiser, and they have a DD and C. So they've covered all three caps with only two.
And STAR2's Kufru just got blapped. He's down to 25k, and he's got a full salvo from a Petro coming in on him when he's broadside.
Yeah, where is he gonna go? He's in trouble.
He gets lucky there. He got lucky. Okay, so narrow lead to STAR2 right now. Narrow lead because of the earlier cap pickup. But now C is being contested. B has not been locked yet. And A is being claimed.
You have a Smoland that is challenging a Des Moines in B, which if this Des Moines tries to back up and radar him, he's got a Petro and a Kremlin that he doesn't know about. Let's see if he knows they're there. He knows about the Kremlin.
Yeah, he definitely knows there's been the Kremlin here. Now, that being said, the Petro is currently... What is the Petro's range? He's currently sitting 16.5 from the Des Moines. So he does have range definitely into B.
He has range. He has range to do it.
That being said, is Kufru going... What is he doing here?
So they've essentially given up A. They're moving the Venezia in, they're moving the Ohio in. I'm really questioning this Ohio. They keep putting this Ohio in weird places. They're putting him in open water A. He's a boat with secondaries. There's no way he's gonna get anywhere close to the Salem or the Petro. So they need to put this Ohio in a better position.
That being said, they did force the Daring out of C, so they are ticking up C. So it's still 1-to-1 on caps being ticked up because B is being contested right now.
Well, and look what they're doing with the Kremlin. I think this makes sense. They're pushing the Kremlin up. He's putting a lot of pressure on the Stalingrad, the Venezia, and the Shikishima. But this Ohio, he's open water gunboating behind the Venezia. I really question what they're doing with this Ohio.
I do too. This Ohio does not feel like it's been a good pick so far, but we'll see if that changes.
Stalingrad on QQ7 Classic, he's taking a few shots. He's backing up. One of the things I'm noticing here, we are not seeing torpedoes hit.
Yeah, we have not seen them. This is a
completely different situation. Oh, Stalingrad, look at this. Stalingrad's backing up. They've got shots on him.
They do. Kremlin's also getting hammered though right now. Oh, 30,000 damage hit from the from Moose. Moose just put 30,000 onto GK, fanboy.
Well, and at this point in time, I think you take the Kremlin and you stick him right on that island. If he goes past that island and he's got full speed, he's probably going to stick his beak a little too far past, and he's going to get smacked by the Stalingrad. Again, QQ7 is right where you think they're going to be. They've got a Stalingrad on that island. They've got the again. Look at what the Salem. The Salem's able to move up. They're doing the same play over and over again.
Interestingly enough, though, I don't know if these torps have been detected by the Stalingrad, so he might be taking a couple here from the Summers. If they have the range. What is the Summers range? Summers has 16.5 range. Right now he is...
Oh, he definitely has the range.
Yeah. It's this old, like, Mexican standoff between the two Des Moines that are sitting in and outside of B for each team.
Stalingrad takes 1. That's not bad. But to see, again, the Kremlin pushed up. He pushed up too far. They're pushing with a Kremlin and a Stalingrad. And guess what? That Kremlin and Stalingrad, they're hurt compared to the 4 people that QQ7.
Oh, yeah. I think they just wanted to get shots on. And, meh, not really good damage on the Stalingrad. Nothing that's paid for itself yet. Now, I'm interested to see what their play is. Star's got to make a play here somewhere. They did find angle on the Kremlin, though. Their Petro and their Stalingrad have angle on the Kremlin right now. That's right outside
look at
B.
that Des Moines. That Des Moines has held B now uncontested for most of the game. And guess what? That's the anchor of this map. This map, in order, so if you get A, guess what you're doing? You're coming across to cap B.
Oh! And the Ohio from downtown, from legitimately, that was a currently 20-kilometer shot. 22,000 off the Stalingrad, and that's going to open up the map. That is going to open up the map.
Man. Stalingrad dies to the Venezia, so now you have a Kremlin pushing. They've moved the second Stalingrad over to help, but their pushing side is currently pushing into 3 players. So even though the Stalingrad went down, they were able to trade it for the other Stalingrad.
That being said, we might be seeing the opposite of what we saw last game, though, because if you look at C, they've got C and it's been given up. So if they push up, that Kremlin, yeah, he's only got 53,000 health, but he's going to get angle on the Des Moines and Moose and force them out of position potentially.
So take a look at A. The Venezia has somehow decided to push A. He's pushing into a Sommers, which is about to torp him.
Oh, they got the flank up there.
That Venezia is in a lot of trouble.
He dodges those torps by the skin of his teeth, but yeah, he is in a lot of trouble. He's trying to get into this. He's trying to go into the summer smoke. He's trying to get into this. That is until the Petro or until the Salem or Petro radars.
Yeah.
That being said, he is dealing damage to that Summers, but yep, there we go. Kremlin gets him.
So right now, QQ7 they have a large advantage on A. The Des Moines, these Des Moines in the center are eventually going to have to do something. But how does Star save it from here? They're down on HP.
I think you've got to see. Honestly, you leave the Summers down there to try to just to keep them out of C, and you turn the Kremlin and the Stalingrad in. If the Kremlin survives this, I don't think the Kremlin's surviving this actually, so this may be moot point. But I was gonna say you turn the Kremlin and the Stalingrad in so that they can force that Des Moines and Kremlin out. But 12,000 health on a Kremlin is not a lot.
He's healing. They're pushing into a Shikishima and a Kiting Venezia. That Venezia has taken very little damage. The Shikishima has taken very little damage. And again, you got to give credit to their DDs. Their DDs are spotting this entire thing. Let's see what
Summers is trying to set up. I'm not sure what he's going to torp. He's not torping anything yet. He's just sitting there. Is he waiting for torps to reload? Because he has not launched any torps yet.
I mean, I feel like he's spotting because he doesn't know where that daring's at.
Yeah.
And if he gets spotted here, that Venezia, QQ7, they got great shots.
Yeah. Oh, Smolensk has been detected. Smolensk getting eaten. Smolensk is getting eaten alive.
Yeah, well, there's 2 radar cruisers over there. What did you expect? And the Sommers is not taking a ton of damage. I think the Smolensk.
Oh, yep, there we go. Burns out.
So we're basically looking at a replay of the first map.
Yep, 330.
Finally moved.
Yeah. 330 point lead right now.
To the center, and he would have been safe this entire time. But for the Salem being able to shoot here. So again, you give up a cap. And you're seeing it happen. You give up a cap easily.
And you're just... I think Star 2 is recognizing this thing. I mean, you're down. You've lost your Kremlin. You've lost your Kremlin. The Des Moines is sitting on the opposite side of the enemy Des Moines, but he's going to be detected and start shot at by a Summers any second.
Well, and again, you got to wonder this Ohio. I'm taking a look at what Red can see, and they can't see the Salem, they can't see the Petro. So what is this Ohio shooting at? He's just been dead in the water. He can't shoot at the Des Moines. He's got nothing to shoot at. They've effectively starved out this Ohio.
I mean, I'll hold my full thoughts on it, but I'm wondering why the choice of Ohio as the battleship. But we can talk about that after the game if we have time.
If you're gonna, these torps.
Yeah.
So while we weren't seeing early torps,
now we're seeing them come in.
Now we're seeing them come in, and they're making a huge difference. He takes two.
Yep.
And he floods.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Summers is now opened up. Ooh, is Summers going to hit? Nope. The Shicky's going to dodge. 52,000. He's fine. Summers is not going to be able to beat out the Daring with the difference in health already.
I mean, look at QQ7's positioning right now.
Yeah.
For those of you watching that do clan battles, you have a Petro and a Salem. They are married to this island. They're right where you expect them to be. You have a Kremlin. He is married to this island. You have a Des Moines. He is married to this island. You have the DD spotting. You have a Shikishima out being able to fire at B and C, and you have your kiting ship out wide. This is textbook play from QQ7.
This is really textbook play, and this is where you can see the skill that QQ7 has coming through. Well, you can definitely see the skill. And game is just about over. 8 points left, ladies and gentlemen. We will be definitely discussing this game, but we're going to see if we can pick up a third game for any of the first round games before.
And that does it.
And there's the win.
Takes it in 2.
QQ7 takes it in 2. And with that, they move on to the winner's bracket. So what that means for them is, one, they get 2 chances to advance. They either win the next round, or if they lose that and go to 1-1, they go down and they play in a winner takes all to get a spot in the group stage 2.
That's I mean, you gotta give STAR2 credit. They were up against it here. They tried some things, and in the end, I think QQ7 just they had better mechanics. Their calling was a little bit questionable on the first map, which was their map, which is the one you think that they would have prepared for. But other than that, I think they did a very, very good job. And STAR2, they almost had him. This game could have been really, really different if they would have won that first game.
This really could have. And honestly, I think they came out and they surprised QQ7. I don't think QQ7 was expecting that to be like it was. So with that and the fact that it is a 2-0, like we said, QQ7 moves up to the winner's bracket. STAR2 drops to the loser's bracket.